So dear students, welcome to the fourth lecture of your chapter Mechanical Properties of Fluids. So this time I have again come back to your pen and paper because I had some difficulty there. Uh, so today we will study about a very important principle which we say as the Bernoulli's principle. Okay, so in the last lecture we have studied about the streamline flow hydraulic machines, right? So this today we will study about this Bernoulli's principle. So this is also related to your fluids. So this expression, this statement for Bernoulli's equation, this I have taken directly from your book. Okay, I have written as it is given in your book. So it says that Bernoulli's equation is a general expression that relates the pressure difference between 2 points in a pipe to both velocity changes, kinetic energy change, and elevation changes, potential energy change. Okay, so what does it mean? It's a general expression that relates the pressure difference between 2 points. Okay, for example, if I have a pipe, okay, any pipe you can consider and say that my water is flowing through that pipe. Okay, now if I uh, put one, say my pipe is initially lying in the land, okay, it is lying in the ground and my water is flowing through that pipe. Now say if I take one end of the pipe and hold it up at some height from the ground, okay, now the water which is coming out of that end, that will be a bit different. I mean, there will be a difference in the pressure of the water, right? So what happening is that with change in height I am getting a difference in the pressure, right? So now if I increase the pressure of the water itself, for example my pipe is connected to the tap and I increase the flow of the tap, okay, then also my pressure will change, right? Without any height difference also my pressure will change. So Bernoulli's equation, it gives you an idea about these pressure differences which can come because of the change of the velocity of the liquid, fluid, whatever, okay, and the height of the flow of the fluid. So if it changes, if velocity changes, then it will be the change in the kinetic energy. Okay, why? Because the kinetic energy is half of mv square. So if velocity changes, my kinetic energy will also change. And elevation, height, okay, height will change your potential energy, because potential energy v is equal to what? It is mgh. So potential energy varies with height because mass and gravitational, that m and g, both of them are constant, and kinetic energy will change with velocity, right? So I have these two things, kinetic energy and potential energy. So the Swiss physicist Daniel Bernoulli developed this relationship in 1738. Okay, Bernoulli, should be Bernoulli, sorry. Now this is a figure 10.9, which I have drawn exactly as it is given in your book. Okay, you see, this is a pipe in which my liquid is flowing. Okay, so the area of one pipe is A1 and the area of the, I mean the one end is A1 and the area of the other end is A2. Let me assume that my area is not same of the pipe. I can have a pipe like this, right? Say at one end my area is different, the cross sectional area is different, and the other end it is of different area. Okay, so here the pressure for this area, it will be P1, because pressure equal to force per unit area, so it will be P1 for A1, and again pressure equal to force per unit area, so it will be P2 for A2, correct? Now you see, this I have drawn a small portion here, and here also I have one portion. So what is this portion? That my liquid is flowing from this point B to the point C, right? Say my velocity is v1. So if my velocity of the fluid or liquid, okay, at the point A1 is v1 and if it takes delta t time to reach C, right? Velocity is v1, time taken is delta t, so displacement will be what? Velocity into time. So this, up to this point from B to C, I mean BC, it will give me the displacement of the liquid in time delta t. Okay, now in the same time, since see my liquid is completely flowing all through about this pipe, right? Now the time at which my liquid has moved from this point B to C, in the same time the liquid has also moved from D to E, right? Say you see, you can imagine this pipe. Say this is a small section of the pipe. So there is a very long pipe, the liquid is flowing, say water is flowing through the whole pipe, and I have cut this section from the pipe. You can imagine it to be like that. Okay, so in that case the whole of the liquid pipe is filled with water, right? So the time taken, so if I imagine like that, okay, so if I imagine a small section of that pipe, then what will happen? The time taken by the liquid to go from B to C will be same as the time taken by the liquid to go from D to E. Correct. So this is the way how this will happen. Now if this is so, then I have one another thing, that the liquid at this point, say the velocity is v2. Okay, it can be different because I have changed my cross-sectional area. So the velocity is v2, and it takes same amount of time delta t to reach E, from D to E. Okay, the displacement dE is v2 delta t. Here it is v1 delta t, here it is v2 delta t. Okay, and above that I have one another condition. The condition is that my height is h1, right? So my height h1, right, at the point B my height is h1. So what I can have is, this point is at height h1 and this point is at height h2. So that's the reason also my velocity will be different. Okay, at h1, at h2, correct? So I have this, right? This is my system. Now I will do some mathematics over this. So let v1 be the speed at B and v2 at D. So that I have already mentioned, right? v1 is the speed at B and v2 at D. Then fluid initially at B has moved at distance v1 delta t to C. Correct? Fluid initially at B has moved to a distance v2 delta t, v1 delta t at C. Right? Yeah, and the same time interval delta t, the fluid initially at D moves to E at a distance equal to v2 delta t. Right? So same time delta t again from D to E. Fine. That we have already discussed. Pressures P1 and P2 act as shown on the plane faces of areas A1 and A2. Okay, so the areas are A1 and A2. So the pressure P1 and P2 act on these faces. Now the whole work done, okay, the work done on the fluid at left end BC is, so W is equal to 1 is equal to W1 is equal to P1 A1 V1 delta T. How this is happening? Because we know that work done is equal to force into displacement. Correct. Now as we know that displacement is equal to velocity into delta, velocity into time. So V into delta T, this is nothing but displacement. This part is displacement, and this part, if you can see, this is P1 A1. Correct. So P1 A1, this is your nothing but your force, right? So force means, you see, pressure is force per unit area, force is pressure into area, right? So I have this, force is equal to pressure into area, and displacement is v1 delta t. So force into displacement, right? So that is giving me the work done. So P1 A1 V1 delta t. Now again, now if I leave P here, okay, and A1 is here and V1 delta t is here. So V1 delta is displacement. So again, area into displacement, and it means area into this length, that will give you nothing but volume, right? This is v1 delta t, so that can be something as, say, delta x, okay. So a1 delta x will give me delta v, area into displacement will give me volume. So pressure into displacement, pressure into volume, okay. And sorry, this one should be a1, okay, p1 delta v, okay, this one should be p1 delta v volume, okay. Okay, fine. So since the same volume delta v, the volume means this is the volume of the liquid, right, which is passing. So uh, this is the volume of the fluid. So the same volume delta v, the volume should be same, right? That cannot change. Whatever amount of uh, fluid is passing through this part, same amount of fluid will come out from here at the same time, right? So the volume should be same. That same amount of volume passing through both the regions, the work done by the fluid at the other end dE is W2 is equal to P2 delta V, right? P2 A2 V2 delta T. This is small v, okay, this is small v, this V1 is small v, and this capital V volume is capital V, okay. So this you go through your book, so it is given in more details, okay. So it's capital P2 delta V, W2 is equal to capital P2 delta V. So work done at the point 1, I mean the initial point BC is P delta V, P1 delta V, and work done W2 at the end DE is P2 delta V. So the total work done on the fluid is minus P2 delta V, okay. Why? Because this is the work done by the fluid, okay. The work done by the fluid at the other end, see, this is, you should remember this one. If my work is done by the substance, then it is positive. If work is done on the substance, then it will be negative, okay. So that will be more clear later on. So if my work is done by the fluid, then it is positive plus P2 delta V, and if my work is done on the fluid, it is minus P2 delta V, okay. So now the total work done on the fluid is, okay, the total work done on the fluid is what? It will be W1 minus W2 is equal to P1 P2 minus P2 delta V, okay. Now in first case the work is done on the fluid, this will be positive because here in this case my liquid is actually entering into the pipe, but here it is leaving the pipe, okay. At this point it is entering, and this point this is leaving. So at this point work done on the fluid, that will be negative, okay. So fine, so we have now obtained the expression for work done, okay. W1 minus W2 is equal to P1 minus P2 delta V, fine. So this is we have obtained. Now if the density of the fluid is rho and delta M is equal to rho A1 V1 delta T, right? So of course that will happen, right? Delta M, so rho is mass per unit volume, so mass is equal to rho into volume, and delta M is equal to rho into volume, so volume is area into displacement, and displacement is V1 delta T. So this time, how delta M I can write it like this we have already discussed in the last lecture. And okay, I want to mention at this point one thing, that in the last lecture I think I have written this delta M is only M, so that should be delta M, okay, that should be delta M, okay, fine. So delta M is equal to rho A1 V1 delta T, so that is equal to rho, and this part will be delta V, so I have rho delta V. So delta M is equal to rho delta V is the mass passing through the pipe in time delta T. Then change in gravitational potential energy is, what will change in the gravitational potential energy? It is mgh, so it will be delta M G H, right? So G delta M is rho delta V, correct? And H, now if I want to go for H, then that H will be what? It will be the difference in the height. So initially, if I refer to the diagram, my height is H1, later on it is H2, it is a much larger height. Okay, so whenever you draw, I mean, this arrow should come here. Okay, you refer to your book for a better diagram. Okay, so this is H2 minus H1, right? So the height is H2 minus H1, so rho G delta V H2 minus H1, so it will be mgh. So a delta M is rho delta V and G and H2 minus H1. Fine. Now the change in its kinetic energy. Okay, now what is the change in the kinetic energy? The change in the kinetic energy is your delta K is equal to half rho delta V V2 square minus V1 square, right? K kinetic energy is half of mv square. So delta K will be what? Half of delta mv square. So half of delta M is what? Rho del V. So half delta M, it is rho del V and V square. So V square will be what? Final velocity minus initial velocity square, right? So V2 square minus V1 square. So you'll have half mv square. So this is the change in your kinetic energy. Now I get change in the potential energy because of height and change in kinetic energy because of velocity. Correct? Now employing the work energy theorem. Okay, work energy theorem, I think this you will study in your earlier lectures, in your earlier chapters. Okay, this is chapter number 10, I think. Before in chapter number, earlier chapter numbers, you will study this one in previous chapters. So employing the work energy theorem, it yields that this is the work. Okay, work energy theorem, it actually gives, I mean, work done. This actually gives the it actually tells you the work done. Okay, work done is equal to, sorry, the change, I mean, the sum of the energy. Okay, so this is the work done, P1 minus P2 delta V, that we have already obtained, and half of rho delta V V2 square minus V1 square, this is the kinetic energy, changing kinetic energy, plus delta U is equal to rho G delta V H2 minus H1. So rho G delta V H2 minus H1, this is the potential energy. So we have seen that work done is equal to change in the kinetic energy plus change in the potential energy. This is the change in the work done actually, which you can say. Okay, now we now divide each term by delta V. Okay, see here we have this volume, this delta V common in all the terms, right? So what I can do is I can divide by delta V on both sides. So if I divide by delta V on both sides, this delta V will be cancelled from all the terms, right? So I'll be remaining with P1 minus P2 is equal to half of rho V2 square minus V1 square plus rho G H2 minus H1. Correct? So if I divide by delta V, I will get this term. So we can rearrange the above terms to obtain. See if I can rearrange. Okay, so if I can rearrange the above terms, we can see P1 plus half of rho V1 square, right? See this one will be half of rho V2 square minus half of rho V1 square. So this, if I move it this side, it will become plus. So plus half of rho V1 square plus, again this will be minus rho G H1. So this, if I move this side, it will be plus rho G H1 is equal to, right, this minus P2, if I bring here, it will be P2 plus half rho V2 square plus rho G H2. Okay, so I have this equation. So P1 plus half rho V1 square plus rho G H1 is equal to P2 plus half rho V square plus rho G H2. Correct? So this is the Bernoulli's equation. Okay, this equation 1, I have put it as equation 1 here. So this is the Bernoulli's equation, right? So in general, the expression can be written as P plus half of rho V square plus rho G H equal to constant. How I have written this one? Because you see, see in this equation 1, at both the sides of this equation 1, you have same terms, just this is at one location, this is the other location. I mean, this is for P111 and this is 222. Correct? So otherwise the quantities are same. So if I take it in the number of quantities, so I can have P2, then P2, then I can have P3, V3, H3, then I can have P4, V4, H4, and so on. So this entire thing will be constant. So P plus half of rho V square, so this entire thing is constant, right? So if my velocity, fluid velocity is at rest, if my fluid is at rest, that is, its velocity is 0 everywhere, right? If my fluid is at rest, okay, then what? V will be 0. Then I will have P with this, and the P plus rho g h1 is equal to P2 plus rho g h2, right? P1 plus rho g h1, P2 plus rho g h2. So P1 minus P2 is equal to rho g h2 minus h1. So this is another equation. Okay. So this is all for your Bernoulli's equation, and this is the equation which we have actually calculated. This is the main Bernoulli's equation. Okay, so it will involve your pressure, your kinetic energy, potential energy, everything. Okay, this is basically the flow of the fluid through a pipe. So this is my equation. Okay, so I think you have to derive up to equation number 2 if it comes for Bernoulli's equation especially. So this is all for today. Okay, thank you.